לא שומעים? Oh, okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the second day of DLD. Hi. I'm Tal. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Evolero, the online platform you're using for this DLD. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's sessions and events, and we're ready to start the second day. Our first session will be video, me, you, and the world too. Videos, as you probably noticed, are a strong method of presenting yourself or what you do, a message or an idea. In this DLD, we were powering the online activities, and I think it was almost 180 different videos that were uploaded by the event's attendees. So everyone are using it, manifesting it, leveraging it for whatever they need to do to present themselves, and it works great. The host for today's session is Oded Vardi. Oded is a friend. Oded is a great advisor for every startup around us especially. He's also the gracious host of today's very cool party, if one of you attended it. And let me tell you a bit about him. Oded is an internet and new media entrepreneur and investor. For the past 16 years, he has been helping startups grow as a founder, hands-on investor, and advisor. Oded is a co-founder and president of Superna, a pioneer and innovator in digital home enabling software, and one of the world's first companies to launch HD video streaming products. He's also a renowned investor in many interesting and promising Israeli startups. So without further ado, I'm just going to invite Oded to start the panel. Please join us.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Everybody feeling all right? Everybody's good? Not too hungover? Because my mother is here. We're just playing Scrabble and board games yesterday. Nothing special. Please allow me, we have an excellent panel, and please allow me to invite Harnevo, Yoel Flo, and Uri Levanon. So in this panel we have, it's actually three different pieces of the video ecosystem. Video is a very, very broad subject. And we might talk a little bit about technology, but we also have here three world-class experts in content. So let's just start with a quick round of introduction. Ron, you want to go first?
Hi everyone, Ran Harnevo. I was the co-founder and CEO of a company called 5min that was acquired by AOL 3 years ago. And we basically created the video structure and strategy in AOL. Today I run video for AOL. And today we're the second largest video network in the US after YouTube, with 1 billion views and 85 million consumers.
And you said that you were acquired by AOL. Can you tell a little bit about how your company looks today as part of AOL?
Yeah, so when we got acquired, we were 50 employees. Today we are 250. So AOL heavily invested in us post-acquisition, which was amazing. We had 20 people in Israel. We have 85 people in Israel right now, more or less. Some of them are here. And it's really the foundation, all the technology and the product of the whole network is being developed in Tel Aviv. And then we have studios in LA and in New York, sales all over the US and Europe. And lately we acquired a company with an Israeli founder and CEO called Adapt TV. So we added another amazing company, 250 employees in San Francisco.
And so I think this is, by the way, a classic example of a very, very good acquisition and assimilation of Israeli company within a purchaser. The R&D center here grew, so it means money coming to Israel, more jobs, etc. They're all integrated. All three founders of 5min are really big contributors to AOL video and technology strategy. Ran's partner, Hanan, is running the R&D center here. The other partner, Tal Simantov, is running their destination site, AOL On. And so three founders, there are three executives in AOL, keep growing their idea, their business, and keep employing good people. So I think that's a classic example, and I'm sure Ran will be happy to ask any questions people have about that topic as well. Uri Levanon, introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Uri. I can say that I'm part of the YouTube zoo, one of the animals there. I started a few channels 2.5 years ago, and suddenly I discovered that I'm a horror lord. The horror channel I started kind of as a joke became the biggest on YouTube, and through that I came to work with a lot of producers and studios and creators all over the world, not just in horror, in what's called the fantastic genre, horror, sci-fi, fantasy, martial arts, the genre film. Then I decided I might try to produce a movie, which is now in some festivals, going around festivals over the world. And now I'm trying to take it to the next level. And I guess in this aspect I can represent the people who started something on YouTube, managed to grow something quite successfully in an interesting way on YouTube, and now trying to go to the next level outside of YouTube. And that's an interesting topic in itself.
Can you elaborate a little bit on about how big is your network, how many views you had to date, etc.?
The whole network is relatively a small network compared to other YouTube networks, but it's around 1 million daily views, which is nice for this kind of one-man show size. The horror channel is really the biggest, and it made a lot of movies virally, become viral, and because of that they made sequels, and they really got themselves known around the world. So that's the main impact I think the channel has achieved. Really.
And how many people are in your company now? And how many? Who are your investors?
No, none. It's one guy doing his thing, eating falafel and trying to see what happens. Yeah.
So we will get back to that. But this is one guy who generated almost 1 billion YouTube views in his network, and I think that's a perfect business. No employees, no board of directors. That's a very stress-free life. And Yoel Flor, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi. Up until last year, I was the head of digital for Shine Group. Shine Group is one of the largest TV production companies. MasterChef, The Biggest Loser, The Office US overlooked the digital stuff. That also included an online video business that we acquired. And by the end of last year, I decided that's way too cool not to be in that space. So I'm now on the other side of the pond, and we are launching an online video business together with 2 partners in the US. The first one that we are announcing very soon is in the animation space, and others to follow over the next few weeks and months. Thank you.
And where are you based out of?
Well, I'm based out of London, and my partners are in New York.
And your name is Yoel, which is a very Hebrew name. Where did you get that name?
My mother is from here, so yeah.
Okay, excellent. So maybe now we will try to make you do Aliyah. No, I'm just joking. I'm not into Aliyah propaganda. No worries.
It's not going to be hard to convince me. Trust me.
Excellent. So we have the one guy operation that from one computer reaches people all over the world. We have the technology / content company that is part of a big organization. We have the man from the cool kid on the production company side who's now starting the own startup. So it's all different approaches. I'm very curious to hear from you guys, because everybody today watches video on TV. Everybody watches video on the internet. Sometimes it's YouTube clips, what I learned from Ron, the term cats on skateboards. But sometimes it's as a generic name for the genre. But there's also production quality content, especially AOL is doing a lot on that. That's probably their focus. So let's say 2, 3, 5 years from now, how we will watch video. I mean, because we can only envision maybe what we're doing now. What's next?
So
from the user experience perspective, of course.
Intel, I think it was Intel, they launched research, and they claim that in 3 years from now, 90% of time spent on the internet is watching videos, which is really a crazy number. It includes Netflix and a lot of VOD and connected TVs, etc. I think that connected TV is really the most interesting thing moving forward in terms of really where everything is going, because we are all used to the fact that everyone can develop into a phone. People have conversation in a coffee shop, especially in Tel Aviv. A month afterwards, they launch an app, and it looks extremely reasonable. Although until 2008, no one could have done that. And I know from a few, like Samsung, Google, Apple, maybe Intel, everyone works on app stores on TV, which means that pretty soon people will have an idea and they would be able to upload it and put it on the app store. So if you produce content only to YouTube, soon enough people would be able to consume you on the big screens. I think that would be the biggest revolution in this industry for, like, all the big companies as we know them are going to struggle significantly when this happens.
And can you share a little bit about, as somebody who's responsible for all of AOL's video strategy, can you share a little bit about your not too confidential plans on what you guys are building? How are you guys preparing for this?
So we've bet on connected TVs 2 years ago. We took a team, we put them aside, and we told them just to go. And we gave them a significant amount of money. Today we're pre-installed in almost every manufacturer, LG, Panasonic, Samsung, Toshiba, Sharp. Like, if you buy the TV, we already have an app there. We have a huge partnership with Roku, Boxy, and I hope that Apple TV would be the last one. So we're all over the place, but it's really, really fragmented. And right now, only the people with the big pockets can create distribution in such a scale. We have already 4 million Americans watching us monthly on TVs.
4 million only in America?
Only in America, and that's a huge number. I mean, if you think about it, it's only on connected TVs. And the only friction there is that it's too complicated right now to do it. Like, you need to go, you need to have a deal with Toshiba, you need to have a deal with Samsung. And I know that everyone is working on getting rid of it. We got into original productions heavily this year. We invested a lot of money. We launched 15 shows. We're going to do more next year. And we are starting to create longer and longer forms because we know that it's coming on the big screen. And the minute it happens, you need to have a meaningful library. You can start producing.
Because if you say, even if my TV is connected, I have to have enough things to watch. Yeah, that's. I think this is actually a problem that we all know, that sometimes we go to the TV with the phone, with the TV, etc., and we cannot find something good. Or maybe it's out there and we cannot reach it, but maybe it's not enough quality content yet. So we're hearing a lot is happening there.
And the cable companies are starting the war. I mean, the war has started. So cable companies are aggressively saving their ecosystem. They're closing deals for 10, 15 years because they know it's coming. So all the technology folks can come with whatever cool technology they have. If there's not, if there won't be good content in the offering, people would still pay for cables.
Excellent. I think that makes a lot of sense. Uri, where do you see the future as the kind of the guy who built the business very quickly?
Future is horror. Yeah. So I agree with Ran completely about the big screen and specifically about the premium content. But looking at
you agree or disagree?
Agree.
But people didn't come here to see you agree. People came to see you disagree. Fight a little bit.
But from my perspective, which is more about watching video clips, I think the main thing that is definitely going to shape is the interweaving the video into chat messaging. It's already happening big time on WhatsApp. There are all kind of applications coming up. We have in Israel Invi and Stevie trying to merge, the social aspect, the watching video clips and the social aspect. YouTube is going there. I mean, if you're a partner, you can see exactly what's the next thing they're trying to target with the connection to Google Plus, which they really try to make you use, but it will happen because Google Plus is really becoming a good tool. So from the perspective of watching clips, I think the messaging, the social aspect, and also new ways to actually interact with people through video. You see all these new tools like Vine and Instagram and Mixbeat coming from the YouTube founders, trying to make it much, much easier for people to actually convey themselves with a video. So I think that's kind of the place where the short clips are going to. And part of the conversation, part of the messaging.
And are you doing now in your network and other activities, you're doing anything from that direction, integrating the content with more social feature, social discoverability, etc.?
Well, I think I can tell you what is being discussed amongst the YouTube networks in LA. Everybody is asking themselves, okay, what are we going to do with social? Because are we going to develop our own tools? Are we going to acquire companies? Are we going to launch our special app? I think for me, I need to figure out how to target the audience, the specific audience that's interested in the content I am publishing, and how can I offer great ways and great experience to communicate for communication between people using the content or around the content. And obviously, naturally, it's something for startups to figure out, and then the content publishers will come and use it.
So you say the innovation will come from startups, and then the content people will just see it
completely. There's amazing opportunities now for startups around mobile video messaging, and it's already happening. We see, and actually, I think, is an interesting startup in Israel to watch for it.
And this is actually something we're going to elaborate in just in a few minutes. So Yoel, and you would love to hear what you think about the user experience, how the whole video experience will look in a couple of years.
So, unfortunately, I agree as well. It's
you also agree?
It's definitely an important part of it.
Let me apologize to the audience. Next year we will find people with more evident conflicts.
But there are a couple of elements. Like if I look at the TV habits today, what I see very clearly is that what drives us is a lot of laziness. So what wins at the moment is the most convenient sitting back, turning on the TV, and then if you really look at user behavior at the moment, all of them are using their phone, and a lot of the industry is pushing like second screen apps and all of that stuff. Reality is, I don't know if you look at yourself, what you're doing on the second screen is most likely not related to the stuff that you're doing on TV. So that's one of the first challenges that we realized, and that means we need to be adaptive in terms of what is the content that you deliver over the different platforms that are coming up at the moment. So what we are trying to figure out is kind of what is the right content for the right platform. What are you going to consume on your mobile? What are you going to consume on the TV screen? And how is that going to fit together? By the way, what is TV going to be in 5 years from now? Like if you're saying I'm going to watch TV, what does it mean? Like is it a movie? Is it a TV show? Is it the big screen in the living room? All of these are the kind of things which we are hopefully going to figure out over the next few years. I think as of now, it's relatively unclear for me.
Okay, and well, I have to say now I agree also, because I think it's very much unclear, and I also don't think personally that these things are written in the stars and just waiting for somebody to do it, but it really depends on what creative people come and invent and do to change the reality.